2, 1.
It's Tuesday. Welcome to your streaming bite-sized newscast. You're tuning into KSAT News Now. RJ is out on vacation yet again, so David Sears isn't. He's always on vacation.
What?
He really
He's
is.
here all the time.
Is he?
Okay.
We'll do a check. Well, welcome. Thanks for coming in today.
You start marking down his days.
Yeah.
Keep up with RJ. That sounds like a
Hello.
segment.
Yes.
That sounds like a new segment.
Keeping up with RJ.
Keeping up with RJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like keeping up with the Kardashians, but RJ.
But it's RJ.
Very well.
Wow, that might work.
Well, welcome again.
A Spur headed the NBA All-Star game. We're going to talk about that here in a little while. And man, it was like touch and go. And this guy has played NBA All-Star type caliber basketball, so he deserves to be there. So.
Dreams coming true for him, but also why home prices in San Antonio are skyrocketing. I'm sure we've heard about that. Plus, are Russian tensions affecting gas prices? But first, let's start in Sutherland Springs, where a federal judge rules the U.S. government must pay the victims of the Sutherland Springs shooting $230 million.
Yeah, U.S. District Judge ruled the Air Force was mostly liable. District Judge Xavier Rodriguez said, quote, the trial conclusively established that no other individual, not even Kelly's own parents or partners, knew as much as the United States about the violence that Devin Kelly had threatened to commit and was capable of committing. So that was the district judge, and then the federal judge, of course, ruled that that $230 million should be paid out by the U.S. government.
Wow, Devin Kelly killed 26 people, wounded 21 when he opened fire at the First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs. That was back in 2017. Kelly died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Have you been down the street and looked up at the gas price signs lately?
I was getting really excited because I remember early January, it was, I think, down to what, to $2.50? And then I hadn't really driven my car
that got you
along
excited?
distance.
$2.50?
I mean, it's better than what I paid the other day, $3.19.
A couple years ago, it was like $1.67.
Well, a couple of years ago. I don't even think I was on the roads then, David.
You weren't old enough to drive a couple of years.
$1.66, I never remember the gas being that cheap when I was driving.
I do. But like I was driving the usual gas station, one of the usual ones I stopped and get gas. It went from $2.99 to $3.09 overnight.
Yep.
I went like, man, I got to dig out another dime a gallon. This is ridiculous. What's going on here? It was less than $1.70 a couple years ago, and that was when a barrel of oil was just over $40. Now it's over $90. Ooh.
Wow. Well,
There's the national average. Look at that. The national average is $3.44.
The tension with Russia about their possible attack on Ukraine is now driving force for prices.
We don't see much relief in the near future, and if crude oil prices continue to rise, then the pump prices will likely follow.
President Biden met with German Chancellor. Biden says if Russia attacks the pipeline that is being built to deliver natural gas will not happen. And this, of course, hurts Russia.
Yeah, it hurts Russia economically, but then you got to look at the Germany side of this thing. They need this natural gas, so they're kind of in a quandary. And I remember yesterday during his press conference, he said, "We're going to shut that thing off. They're not going to be able to continue building that Nord Stream 2 pipeline. It's not online yet, but it's almost completed." And then German chancellor is kind of standing there, didn't really say much after Biden said we're shutting it off because Germany needs that natural gas.
Yeah, what do you say at that point, right?
So it's an interesting situation over there in Europe with NATO and Ukraine and Russia and the U.S. and all this involvement of all these countries trying to get Russia to hopefully calm things down a little bit.
And then eventually it trickles down to our pockets. And also with home buyers, well, they can't get enough of San Antonio. We've already talked about these prices. San Antonio is listed as a top 10 migration city for 2021. That's according to Redfin, a real estate company.
Yeah, the Alamo City came in at number 10 on the list. It's estimated that nearly 24,000 people moved into San Antonio, helping drive up those home prices.
In December, the city's median home price was of more than $308,000, but that's actually, if you can believe it, that's actually the lowest median on Redfin's list. Phoenix, Arizona takes the cake at a median of about $435,000. My goodness.
Yeah, but why are prices rising so quickly in these markets? According to Redfin, it's because the new families moving in have a higher budget than the average local person. So in other words, if you sell your house in California or Arizona or one of these high marketplaces, you have more cash to come to San Antonio and Texas to spend on these houses. So then they start doing the bidding wars, and the next thing you know, that $290,000 house is up to $310,000. So,
but it's nothing for these families that are coming out of state. They can afford it. Sometimes they have double what is being asked for. Dallas, Texas was actually number 2 on Redfin's list, and their median was in the 300,000s as well. But
And a lot of people are selling their houses really quick. I think I read a headline a while ago. I didn't read the whole article, but it was a headline talking about how fast people are selling houses, especially here in Texas and San Antonio. It's not staying on the market very long. So that is still going on. January was one of the fastest months for selling houses that they've seen in a long time. So that's still going on.
I wonder who the families that do sell their homes, do they have a plan B? Because that was also an issue. There's not enough housing.
Not enough housing. And if you sell your house for a certain amount of money, how much do you have to buy another house that's that same amount of money? So you kind of get in that quandary. And then of course building is another whole aspect of this thing. Wood's gone up, concrete's gone, everything, nails have gone, everything's gone up. So that's why the prices are so high even when you buy a new home. So
we need a raise. Well, I'd like to thank the Academy.
Say that louder.
No, our boss is standing right over there.
Really loud.
David, I would like to thank the Academy for announcing the Oscar nominees. It's finally that time. Oh,
this is like,
it's like, why are you taking my coffee?
Like your Oscar.
Thank you so much to the Academy for voting for me. Thank you, David.
Wow. Did you see any of these movies?
No, I did not.
You haven't seen them yet?
No.
The Power of the Dog leads with 12 nominations. Dune received 10 Oscar nominations, and Beyonce.
Do you listen to Beyonce? Have you ever listened to Beyonce?
I've heard of Beyonce.
Well, of course you've heard of Queen Bee. Well, she snagged her first ever Academy Award nod for the song Be Alive in the movie King Richard. And then Billie Eilish.
I've heard of Billie Eilish too.
She's awesome. She's also celebrating her first Oscar nomination, and she's up against Beyonce. The song No Time to Die for the Bond movie of the same name was nominated also in that original song category.
Steven Spielberg set a new record for the Oscars. He has now produced 11 films nominated for Best Picture, and all 11 of them are up this year. They got enough films. It's like, how do you keep up with all these things? The West Side Story producer snagged 7 nominations this year alone. That's a lot.
Yeah, the Academy Awards, they're celebrating their 94th year. And the awards are set to take place on March 27th. That's happening in Hollywood at the Dolby Theater.
Look at all the best pictures. 1, 2,
Did
3,
you watch
4,
that one,
5,
Dune?
6, 7, 8. I haven't seen any of these. I didn't. West Side Story. I've heard a couple of them, but I've never seen them.
See, I've heard about all of them, but I'm not really into.
I think Denzel
movies.
Washington's up for another Oscar as well.
Another.
For was it King? What was the name of it?
King Richard.
King Richard. I was going to say King Russell. King Richard.
King Richard
is his movie. So
well,
a lot of big names in there again. So
usually when they come out and if they win, that's usually when I'll give it a chance.
Yesterday.
Oh,
RJ
King
was
Richard
here.
was the one with Will Smith.
Yeah.
I watched that one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
was it Oscar worthy?
Yes, it was a really great movie. Yes.
Well,
yeah, I'm Googling it here. Yeah, that was the one with the Williams sisters.
Did you go to the movie theater to see that?
No.
You just watched it?
I think I watched it like on HBO or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
wherever it was.
Any of them.
Amazon.
RJ was here yesterday, and we were talking on the news at 9 about how DeJounte Murray was like getting snubbed a little bit, but he still had a chance because somebody would probably drop out, and they would put DeJounte Murray in the All-Star game, and guess what?
He's in.
Somebody dropped out.
Yeah.
Draymond Green's not going to play, so the commissioner of the NBA said, DeJounte, you're having a great season. Come on and play in the All-Star game. So this is great.
On Twitter, he said, I remember sitting in the green room and being judged because of my past as a kid, and the Spurs knew I didn't have guidance and needed an opportunity. I remember tearing my ACL and people thought it was over for me. Wow, I'm thankful and grateful. It's a reality now. Thank you, God. And he was actually quoting a tweet from 2015 that read, I want to play in an NBA All-Star game one day. That was February of 2015.
Well, there he goes.
Full circle moment for him.
Did you see his real quick, his numbers? He's averaging 19.6 points a game, 8.4 rebounds, and 9.2 assists. So the guy's almost averaging a triple-double. He's got 10 of those this year already, 15 for his career. So this guy is, he's something special for the Spurs. So he's got his All-Star weekend pass now. So congratulations to DeJounte.
Speaking of basketball, this is college basketball, okay? But I read that a meteorology major stepped in because some team was without a lot of players because of COVID. He stepped in. His nickname is the Weatherman, and he got a double-double.
We're not talking about Justin, are we?
I know. That's what I thought when I first read it. I was like, that because Justin's nickname on the court is the Weatherman.
The Weatherman?
Is he really?
I'm
I
sure he
didn't know
could
that.
pull a double-double at some point.
We're looking at you, Justin.
We're talking about
you.
We're talking about the Weatherman in basketball. Wow. He does still have it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
He keeps talking about
Weatherman.
that 40 he scored like 3 months ago.
Yeah,
But, you know.
I know. From the Weatherman to the Weatherwoman.
There you go.
Let's talk about the weather a little bit here. It was cold this morning, guys.
It was.
Very cold. In fact, we're at that time of the year where we still get those morning freezes, you know, where it's not totally safe to put out your plants yet. That's February. But we did get down to 32 degrees this morning. A couple of other spots that got really cold were up in Kerrville, there we go, and Uvalde, Hondo, Carrizo Springs, and Gonzales. So when do we usually see our last freeze? Well, we have to wait until about the end of February. February 24th is the average last freeze in San Antonio. Up in the hill country, though, it's toward the end of March. But again, we can see freezes past February. San Antonio's latest freeze was April 3rd back in '87. Yeah. Good thing you got a meteorologist friend who can tell you what's up with the weather. Yeah. But other than that, guys, the cold mornings are going to really lead into comfortable afternoons. We're going to be looking at a high temperature close to 70 degrees by the afternoon today. And then over the next several days, I mean, really nothing but sunshine. We might have a little bit of a hiccup Saturday with a small chance for rain. But at this point, we'll take any rain that we can get because we're seeing some drought conditions. But hey, Super Bowl Sunday, you'll be able to throw the pigskin around, and on Valentine's Day Monday, you'll be able to take your date out. So things look pretty good for the weather for us. But we were talking earlier about February and how it can be a month where there's a lot of variables when it comes to the cold and warm. Think about last year when we had February's winter storm. Meteorologist Katie Blake and I just came out with a new podcast, video podcast, about the winter storm last year, 1 year later, through the eyes of meteorologists. Take a look at this preview.
Historic winter storm deep freeze across Texas. What it was like to be a meteorologist actually covering that event February 14th. And San Antonians that morning woke up to a winter wonderland.
I was like, wow.
Wow, look at all this snow. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And then
The mood quickly switched. It was
Absolutely.
not fun anymore. It was just like, we're doing this appcast, and then we've got to put this on social.
And then every
because
now and then one of those thoughts would cross your mind. One of the most difficult parts about being a meteorologist during this time is we could just tell people about the weather. We couldn't tell them when the power's going to come on, when you're going to feel okay.
like we may work one or two more things like that in our
lifetime.
yeah. No.
That was crazy.
Crazy times.
You can listen and watch that podcast anywhere where you get your podcast, so Apple, Spotify, and then you can watch it on KSAT.com. And again, the thing that Katie and I were really talking about and reflecting on is if everybody had power, it would have been this winter wonderland. But because the power went out, things were devastating. And, you guys were here working in the newsroom. You knew what it was like working here too. And just the way that our community banded together to keep people safe and warm. So it's been a year we're reflecting on things, and we'd love for you all to listen and watch. So
It was not just the power, but it was water too. I mean, I didn't make it to the station. I couldn't get here.
David, I remember you were producing videos from home on your phone because you were out of power and you were showing us what it was like to be camping out in that winter weather. And of course, the water went out because the power went out as well. So.
We didn't have water for a week.
Wow.
And then we had to boil water for the next 5-6 days. It was
on a well system, correct?
It was no, we were on Canyon Lake water.
I see.
But the electricity went out, so their pumps and their refill charge and all that. And then no electricity.
And something that we've seen this year too is anytime we get a cold snap, there's a worry that it's
Yeah,
going to be
people are
like
on edge
last
still.
year. And that's totally understandable. So we hope you'll give it a listen. It's a timeline too. We go through, here's what happened when, here's how cold we got, and of course we take some time to reflect as well.
And I love that we're able to learn more of the job that y'all do as meteorologists, and it takes a lot of work. So again, thank you then, a year ago, for keeping us updated, and now for keeping us calm, especially during this last winter snap.
Well, I appreciate that, Alicia.
But here's the good news. Did you see Thursday's forecast? Did you see her little?
Sun.
I can go back. Look at this.
Look at that. Watch this. Look at Thursday. What's happening Thursday?
70 degrees.
What's happening Thursday?
70.
What is Thursday?
Rodeo. I'm like,
Rodeo.
I don't see an emoji. I don't know
What a
you're
way
talking
to
about.
kick off
Okay,
the
sorry, I'll
rodeo.
put an emoji
Put
on there.
You got a cowboy emoji you can put out there or something?
I'll tip my
Horse
hat
or
to
something?
it.
Yeah, thank you. Look
Hey,
at that.
Right. the
And rodeo is one of those.
rodeo.
Rodeo is one of those
Yeah.
events where in rodeos past you get a cold snap.
Yep.
Ooh, it can get chilly out there riding that merry-go-round.
So 70
Body
sounds
warmer,
good.
hand warmer, foot warmers. David and I are going to be out at the rodeo on Thursday, and Ursula, of course, Queen
Yeah.
Ursula, and you are leading the rodeo special. And
We are going to do something that's never been done before in San Antonio. We're actually going to broadcast the rodeo from 7 to 9. So we're going to take you inside the AT&T Center, and you're going to get to see all the events live right here on KSAT 12, the bareback, the saddle bronc riding, the barrel racing, all the bull riding. We're going to have all that for you live right here on KSAT 12. So it's going to be like you're in the arena, and the announcers that are there, they know exactly what's going on and how it all works and everything. So they're going to be the announcers for us. And then Ursula and I and you will be hosting a hour special after the rodeo event. So we're going to have some of the winners on our show. We're going to take you to the barns and the carnival, and we're going to take you the rodeo
music,
grounds.
everything.
If you haven't been there in a while, they have a whole new footprint out there. So
yeah,
we're
I
gonna
mean,
show
even
how
if
it's
you
all
have
works.
been,
Yeah.
literally, it's an entirely
Yep.
new layout. They've been working so hard, and it's so amazing to see that volunteers are the ones that really transform the space into the rodeo we love.
I think it's like 6,000 volunteers every year, and then they gave away $12 million the last time when they had the full rodeo. Last year they didn't have the full rodeo, but the year before. So join us 7 o'clock. If you can't come out there, 7 o'clock on Thursday night for the rodeo itself, and then a post-game rodeo show at 9 o'clock. So looking forward to that. It'll be fun.
That'll be a lot of
I
fun.
can't wait to
Looking
see you on
forward.
one of those roller coasters myself. Live on a roller coaster.
Oh, well, I've been committed to go now. Thank you,
you go.
David.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Well, it's a pleasure having you. You'll be here for another day, right?
Back tomorrow.
Okay, back
You know,
tomorrow.
RJ, it's
You know, RJ on vacation again. Well, we will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Thank you so much for tuning in on KSAT News Now. Whether you're streaming, on podcast, we appreciate you. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
the life of RJ.
The life of RJ.